the VeloCloud team works with a lot of CSPs worldwide. Right. You have a huge footprint. What are you doing to help them with their monetization? Is Gen AI one of these elements that they could go back and say, hey, look, here's another driver to help them monetize their networks?
When it comes to a bit of background in terms of what CSPs have done, they've laid out a lot of 5G towers. They grew their investment and their deployment of 5G quite significantly over the years, looking to attract a lot more mobile traffic. Mm-hmm. But they have all this investment in place. The subscriber growth is not growing as much as they might have expected. Mm-hmm. And so they looked at the investment that they had in place and started offering 5G network access service, whether it's to enterprises, whether it's for end users at their homes. But then they also start to stagnate in terms of monetization, like the way you pointed out, because at the end of the day, you have a monthly plan and you don't have the luxury of creating tiered pricing within that one access medium. 5G can be quite unpredictable in terms of available bandwidth. A day like where it is, cloudy, or maybe there's a lot more cell phones attached to a tower, it can change the amount of available bandwidth that a user basically gets. So you can't really go and create a tiered pricing based on bandwidth, and you can't slice that further. So this has been one of the challenges, and that a lot of the CSPs face. So this is where we've come in, as part of our product called VeloSky. VeloSky brings in, at least for communication service providers, the ability to monetize on that initial offering that they have for access. We bring in the ability for improving the user experience, because again, on those fluctuating bandwidths, a user experience can vary significantly, and we want to ensure that you get the best user experience out of those 5G links. And the third part, which is the more important part, is we bring in the concept of convergence. The ability to use, like you mentioned, 5G networks, your satellite connectivity, or maybe there's a wired line connectivity as well. Mm-hmm. Being able to use two or all of those connections off of a single device and basically be able to spread your load across all of them, basically utilizing all of them, is what we deliver with our convergence strategy as well. Now, specifically going back to how can they monetize, so we also bring in the ability to add security services. Right. And security is going to be very important and continues to be very important for end users and enterprises. So being able to offer services off of the device, bringing in next generation, firewall capability and protecting that perimeter, that site, becomes even more critical, and customers are willing to pay for that additional service. So now you have connectivity, now you've got a layer of security, and then you bring in the ability to deliver superior user experience through convergence. We further go down and help CSPs, allowing them to provide this capability to their customers, where the customers can choose which traffic is important, which is business critical, and how they can send that over a specific link. Business critical, low priority traffic can be siphoned off to a different link. So being able to use those links intelligently as well is what enterprises are willing to pay for. And these are capabilities that we're offering to CSPs to help them monetize better.
That makes sense. I think having that single vendor relationship from a CSP standpoint obviously makes their life easier, right? And to the extent that they can work with someone who's a trusted partner with a broad enough platform that's rich enough to do what they need, I think that's really important. How do you see the ability change potentially the relationship of the CSPs with their own customers themselves? Right? What do you bring to that table?
The number one element I would say is, at the end of the day, keeping those customers happy, right? If you have critical applications, and that, let's say the remote bank is an example I'd taken earlier, and the customers are not able to transact, the bank's not going to be happy, and the CSP is going to be blamed for that at the end of the day. And they will start shopping around for alternatives till they're satisfied. So being able to keep the end customers of a CSP happy is our primary goal, and we do that by working with the CSPs to delivering the technologies that we just talked about. Everything from just building a full converged solution, down to if there is only one circuit, one access level available at that site, being able to improve the user experience even on that one circuit is what we deliver with VeloSky, right? So that's been our primary goal. And then you bring in the elements of our ability, our knowledge, our technology to identify those AI applications, because we know for a fact you cannot get rid of them. They are going to only grow in the network, and being able to be ahead of the curve and understanding what those applications are, detecting them early on, enforcing automatic policies based to those, based on the applications we detect, and going a step further of tying an application to a user is something that's even more important, because you and I could be accessing the same application like Zoom, but let's say you are the CEO, and then your Zoom cannot be affected at any cost, but my Zoom traffic can be deprioritized. So going beyond just recognizing application, but tying it back to a user and sending that traffic over an access link holistically is what we basically deliver.
That's pretty compelling, right? The ability to use multiple links, right? And basically change the relationship that the service provider has with the enterprise. I'm not a connectivity provider, right? I provide you assured connectivity with the right quality, with the intelligence that you need to ensure the applications work well, work securely for a wide customer base. Yeah. Kishan, I want to come back around to Gen AI again, because we can't escape the Gen AI topic. So speaking of Gen AI, and obviously security and connectivity is what we've been talking about here, but around Gen AI and security, what are you seeing enterprises ask for?
It's very interesting. CISOs actually fear AI applications because just like we talked about the nature of these applications, the fact that we are in a there's an agentic AI framework, and there's a proliferation of AI applications in the network that goes undetected, keeps a lot of the CISOs up at night.
Right.
And this is why it becomes very important to detect early on and report back on what AI applications are running within your network. So that becomes the very first fundamental thing, just knowing, detecting those apps. You can now further take action. Mm-hmm. Is that unauthorized by the enterprise? Is that something that's not authorized by the enterprise? And if it is not, this is where the security capability that VeloCloud has will come to light. So there's two places. One, you can enforce it right at the edge, at the perimeter, and bring in technologies such as intrusion protection service, as well as intrusion detection services right off of the box. Be able to bring in URL filtering and also bring in IP, malicious IP protection right off the device itself. So these are capabilities that will be the first layer of defense. Depending upon your architecture, for more advanced services, you can send that to our VeloCloud SASE solution as well, where you have a rich set of features, right? You have the malware protection, you've got sandboxing, you've got data loss protection, you've got CASB, you've got the entire suite capabilities that is there sitting for you to basically have this traffic inspected and then enforce the appropriate policy. So we have quite a breadth in terms of the security services that we can basically offer to protect, these end enterprise, customers, particularly when it comes to AI applications.